This video is for fitting an Integra Options bay pole into a window with two 90-degree bends. Fitting an Integra Options metalwork pole into a bay window requires just a few general hand tools, some simple planning, and, most importantly, careful measuring. It is important to check that you have a minimum of 5 centimetres between the top of the window and the ceiling, so that the brackets can be fitted. Next, make sure that you have all of the parts by checking the contents list in the instruction leaflet provided with your product. Remember to remove the collar from each end of the pole, but do not throw these away as you will need them later to fit the finials. If you are missing any parts, please call the helpline on the number provided in the instruction leaflet. We recommend that you fix the curtain pole to a pre-installed wooden batten if possible. If you are fixing to a studded or plasterboard wall or masonry, please ensure that you have the correct wall plugs to suit your type of wall. These may be different from the wall plugs provided with the pole kit. If you are in any doubt, please consult your local DIY store, retailer, or a professional builder. Consider how you want your curtain to look when it is in place. Will it cover light switches, sockets, or other devices? Before commencing, you will need the following tools: drill and drill bits, pencil, screwdriver, spirit level, hacksaw, and file. Now to measuring out the window. Firstly, the bay width section. Use a spirit level to make a faint line on the wall a minimum of 5 centimetres above the window to allow enough room for the brackets. This line is where the centre of the brackets will be. Mark the midpoint of the window. Measure the length of pole that you require by measuring the width and returns of the window. Mark the position of the centre bracket on the line at the midpoint. If you need to shorten the pole, use a hacksaw to cut it to the required length. Using the file, carefully remove the burr and sharp edges from the cut ends. It is very important to remove all of the burr from inside the pole or the corner piece joiners will not fit. Remember, measure twice so that you only cut once. Once you have measured and marked the bay width section, you need to measure the bay return sections and mark the positions for the passing bracket and end bracket positions. If you are installing an internal bend in a 90-degree bay, measure 20 centimetres from the bay width wall and mark this position on the bay return line. Mark the same measurement from the bay return wall on the bay width wall line. Repeat these measurements on the other side of the bay. This is where the 4 passing brackets will be positioned to support the corner joints. Mark the position of the end brackets approximately 10 centimetres from the edge of the bay return wall, ensuring that there is enough room to fit the finial and for the curtains to stack back. Now to fixing the brackets. Position the centre bracket on the wall so that the fixing holes are on the marked line. Mark the screw holes on the wall. Repeat for the passing brackets. To mark the screw positions on the end brackets, hold the bracket so that the centre of the bracket is on the line and mark the top and bottom holes. If you are mounting onto a wooden batten, drill a 2mm hole at the marked positions and fit the brackets using the screws provided, making sure that they are securely tightened. If you are fixing directly onto plaster, studded wall or masonry, drill the correct size hole for the wall plugs and screws that you are using. Once marked, fit each bracket, making sure you tighten both screws to give a secure fixing. Repeat for all the brackets that you are using. Moving on to bending the corners of the pole. The joiner will be a very tight fit, so it will help to coat the joiner with a lubricant, such as washing up liquid or something similar. Insert the joiners into the corner piece, ensuring that the part of the joiner with the smallest diameter is pushed fully into the corner piece. Use a twisting and pushing motion to insert the joiner. Ensure that the rubber O-rings are level and sitting fully into their recess. Ensure that the end of the pole is free from swarf, burrs and damage, and push the pole onto the other end of the joiner, again lubricating the joiner and using a twisting and pushing motion to fully locate the pole. Holding both poles with a wide but comfortable grip, turn the corner piece so that the serrated section is facing towards you, and carefully start to bend the corner piece around your knee to the desired angle, being careful not to pinch your skin or your clothing in the serrations. You can use a cloth placed between your knee and the corner piece to protect your knee or your clothing if required. For best results, start at the centre of the corner piece and work outwards toward the edges to make sure that all of the serrations are closed up evenly. Do not use too much force, or you will distort the serrations and they will not close correctly, so you may not get the bend angle that you require. When you have reached the desired angle, remove the poles from the joiners, but leave the joiners in place inside the corner pieces. Ensure that the locking screws on all of the brackets are fully retracted so that they don't scratch the pole, and slide the straight section of the pole into the centre bracket on the bay width. If you are using 2 poles for wider bays, then you will need to use a joiner to connect the poles together. This must be fitted at the centre and will be covered by the centre bracket when the pole is fitted. Locate the end of the pole onto the corner piece joiner and firmly push the pole fully onto the joiner. Use lubrication if required and the same twisting motion as previously. Slide half the quantity of the C-rings onto the pole. Slide the bay return length of the pole through the end bracket and locate the end of the pole onto the other end of the corner piece. Repeat for the other side of the bay. Slide the standard ring onto the pole directly behind the end bracket. Using the collar previously removed from the end of the pole, fit the finial through the collar to the end of the pole, using the screw provided with the finial. Repeat for the other side of the bay. When you are happy that you have the pole positioned correctly, tighten up all of the locking screws on the bracket. Now you are ready to hang your curtains.